everybody. Welcome to today's webinar hosted by the accounts team at Keystone Click. I'm Nicole Morton. I'm the Director of Marketing Operations, and with me are my colleagues, account managers 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗏𝗏 and Ellen Atkinson. And we are thrilled to have you here as we continue on our exploration of the B2B customer journey. As I said, this is one of my very favorite things to talk about. So this has been a lot of fun. Last month, Whitney and I were talking about what is the customer journey. And today we're going to focus a little bit on how to tailor your content marketing plan to your customer base in order to promote your business growth. This is an open forum. So at any time, if you have questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the Q&A section of your webinar software or drop them in the chat, and we'll have time at the end of the presentation to open the floor for some discussion. So let's get started. Whitney, what are we covering today?
Yeah, so in the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to examine content types for each phase of the customer journey so that businesses can ensure they're resonating with their audience, building trust, driving action, and ultimately boosting revenue. In this webinar, here's an overview of what we're going to cover. We'll do a quick recap of the customer journey. So as Nicole mentioned, she and I did a webinar last month about the B2B customer journey. And if you want to go deeper into that, you can check out last month's webinar at the Keystone Click YouTube channel. It's under the 2023 Biz Growth Webinar Series playlist. Highly recommend that. We'll talk about why it's important to tailor your content to each of the stages of the customer journey, and then we will pinpoint the types of content that you can implement at each point to help move your customers along the stages of the journey all the way through to brand loyalty.
Awesome. This one's going to be a lot of fun. So if you remember from last month's webinar, the customer journey is the path a potential customer takes from the moment they become aware of your brand all the way to when they become your brand advocate. So by aligning customer needs at each stage, we can better resonate, build trust, and drive action. So it's all about making the right impact at the right time, ensuring we have both leads and conversions. So if you remember this infographic from last month's webinar, this is kind of what we live and die by, the 5 general stages of awareness in the customer journey. So we wanted to talk about why is it important. Remember that we can use it to understand our customers' needs and preferences from when they're getting to learn about our brand and our offers. You use that kind of feedback to develop strategies to meet those needs, to build better relationships with your customers. And ultimately, this is all helping you drive sales and revenue.
All
so
right.
Ellen, let's quickly recap.
Yeah, let's start with recapping. So our journey begins at awareness. Here, our goal is to capture the attention of potential customers and generate brand recognition, letting our customers know, hey, we exist. Which brings us to our next stage, consideration. So as our prospects progress to the consideration stage, we start to recognize that they're evaluating options and looking for solutions. So here's where we implement strategies to nurture prospects and guide them to work with you as a company. That moves us to the action stage. This is where they leap from just looking at you to actually making a purchase or engaging with you or whatever your goal is as a company. Then we're in the experience stage. This is where they're working with you, they're loving you. This is where we focus on the customer experience. And happy customers are more likely to become repeat buyers and brand advocates, which brings us to the last stage. This is where we recognize the immense impact of turning satisfied customers into brand advocates. Their positive word of mouth can significantly boost your brand's reputation and growth.
Nice. So now that we've refamiliarized ourselves with the stages of the B2B customer journey, let's take a look at how we can tailor our content to meet the needs of our prospective customers at each of those stages that they're at.
Right. So it's important to remember why content is such an essential part of your marketing strategy, that is really just your cornerstone, what you want to begin with. The creation and use of high value content does three big things. One, it will address your prospects' needs at each stage of their customer journey, from the time that they just begin to learn about your brand, so that awareness stage, all the way through building brand loyalty, the advocacy stage. It helps create meaningful awareness so you can deepen that relationship with the customer. And the insights that you get from the way your customer receives and interacts with content will drive the direction of your messaging and strategy going forward. So you should always be iterating on what you do based on those customer insights. Oh, sorry. I was like, did you
okay.
the slide?
I'm like a ninja.
Yeah, you did that. I totally didn't even notice. Okay, so in the awareness stage, that, as Ellen was reminding us, that's when we are introducing our brand to potential customers. So imagine someone interested in your product or service, but not really sure where to begin. So there are different types of content that are better suited for them. So things like a blog post titled "Benefits of X," to introduce positive aspects of your solution that your prospect is only just starting to become aware of. Or maybe an infographic or a short video about your solution that provides value in an entertaining and digestible format. And social media is really useful here. Shareable social media posts help create buzz around your product or service. And as a pro tip, we have there are tools like BuzzSumo that can help you identify trending topics in your niche that you can use to then generate content ideas. So that goes hand in hand with SEO. And you also want to make sure that you have clear calls to action in your content, so your prospect knows what exactly they need to do to learn more.
All right. So once our potential customers are aware of you, we need to nurture that relationship. In the consideration stage, we're essentially building trust and showcasing your expertise, that you know what you're doing. So for content, this looks like publishing comparison guides or white papers to give your prospect information that allows them to make an informed decision about their choices. It could also be like case studies or testimonials to provide social proof that your solution has worked before for past customers. It could also be a webinar just like this that offers solutions for your prospects' needs. And you can incorporate live demonstrations of your product or service to showcase that you know your stuff. So our pro tip here is to pay attention to what's going on in your industry. Forums or platforms like Reddit are often used to understand your audience's questions and concerns. This helps tailor that content then. Personalization goes a really long way at this stage too. So consider using automations to help personalize this content at this stage.
Okay, so once your prospect is in the action stage, this is really when we're focused on conversions, because they're getting ready to make a buying decision. So the best way to get them to convert and buy your product or service is to position your product or service as the best one to meet their needs. And there are a few different ways you can do that. You want to make sure that your website or landing page has very clear descriptions, product features, pricing, and your branding is very clear and prominent. Things like limited time offers or discounts are very motivating. Even B2B buyers want to feel like they're getting a deal. So a time-bound special offer or discount will give your prospects that extra incentive to take action. And depending on your product or service, so your prospects may need to take a test drive before they make their final decision. So you can use this to your advantage and offer things like a free trial, a demo, or a consultation. So we just really want to emphasize the importance of optimizing your landing pages for that seamless user experience to make the conversion process easy for them. They might be deciding for you, but then if they get confused about the buying process and give up, then you lose that opportunity. So you want to consider tools like heat maps that will give you insights into your user behavior on your site and help identify those friction points so you can make that experience, that buying process, simple for them. Persuasive calls to action that highlight the benefit of taking immediate action. Those persuasive calls to action are also really important at this stage.
All right, so they purchased your product or engaged with your services.
Great.
But the job isn't done. So the experience stage, it's about ensuring satisfaction and building loyalty. Content that nurtures your customers and educates them on how new products or services will improve their satisfaction, but will hopefully turn them into loyal customers. So give your customers the information they need when they need it. Post-purchase guidance from you in the form of onboarding emails or video tutorials will make for a really smooth start. And your customers don't want to have to call or email you every time they have a question. Including knowledge-based articles and FAQs on your website will make it really easy for them to find that information when they need it. Also try to create a dialogue with your customers by sending personalized follow-up emails or surveys. You can use their input to improve your offers, processes, and more. At this stage, it's critical to provide exceptional customer service and quickly address customer concerns. Encouraging your customers to share their positive experiences on review platforms or social media is going to go a really long way here. You can even host complimentary workshops or events related to your product or service to foster a community of everybody who's using you.
Okay, so you've nailed that stage and you want to continue building on it. It doesn't just end there. So our final stage, advocacy, is about turning those satisfied customers into active promoters of your brand. This kind of loyalty does not happen overnight, unfortunately. It's a long game. And to win this, you must continue providing that quality service and personalized, relevant communication that you began in the previous stage. To do that, you want to highlight what your customers have achieved thanks to your brand and use their own words. And you can do that through customer success stories or video testimonials. That's a very powerful form of social proof that other people will look for when they themselves are in the awareness stage. Offering something in exchange for referrals or reviews will increase the likelihood that your customers will share good things about you. You might consider discounts, upgrades, gifts, or reward points to motivate them, to incentivize them to do that. And this is also a great time to share your thought leadership by writing articles for trade publications, making guest appearances on podcasts, anything that can raise your personal and brand profile. By doing that, you demonstrate your credibility and establish your brand as an industry expert. And these forms of content will show your customers the added value that you offer beyond that initial purchase of the product or service. So our pro tips for this stage: engage with those brand advocates that you do have on social media and amplify their positive experiences that they are sharing there. You can offer things like exclusive perks or rewards to your loyal customers who promote your business, and leverage that user-generated content to reinforce your super fans' brand loyalty.
Super fans, that's the ultimate goal. But the important thing to remember is that each stage of the customer journey offers a unique opportunity to resonate with your audience. And like we said at the beginning, using the right content at the right time goes a long way to building that genuine, lasting relationship with your customers. Meet them where they are and guide them with valuable content every step of the way. So that sounds great, but you may be asking yourself, okay, where do I start? So, our advice is with any undertaking, you should start small. So first steps you should be thinking about. It's important to review your business goals to decide where you want to begin to optimize and refine your content marketing strategy. So a plan for building brand awareness is going to be very different than one that your goal is lead generation or you want to grow your thought leadership. So revisit your goals as a point to re-engineer your content marketing strategy. Secondly, inventory what you have. We want you working smarter, not harder. We recommend using the 5 R's: review, reinforce, refine, repurpose, and retire. Review what you have, reinforce your position that you've taken on stances and important discussion points in your industry. Refine your messaging to reflect your goals. Repurpose things that have resonated with your audience. White papers can become blog posts, can become social media graphics, can become infographics, can become an outline for a webinar. And then if there are things that are no longer relevant, go ahead and curate and retire what you don't need anymore. Finally, just please don't do all of this at once. Like Whitney said, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Start small and iterate as you learn and gather data.
All right, let's see if we have any questions. I'm going to go to our Q&A. All right. Oh, here's a good one. How does the B2B customer journey differ across industries? And how should content be tailored to cater them? I think Whitney would have the most experience, not to put you on the spot.
No, that's a really great question. Different industries have different pain points. The buyers have different behaviors and decision-making processes. It's really different as a regular consumer, right? Buying a consumer product versus an industrial buyer. And then here's an example, a tech startup might prioritize agility and innovation. And then you have, on the other hand, a well-established manufacturing company, and they value reliability and scalability. So tailoring content means understanding these differences and what is important to the buyers of your specific product or service that you are targeting. So you can think of things like industry-specific case studies, white papers, any type of content that will address those sector industry specific challenges, webinars featuring industry experts, things like that.
Nice.
Nice.
We've got another good question. In the B2B space, sales cycles can be much longer compared to B2C. And we experience that as a marketing agency that deals in that works in the B2B space. How can we maintain customer engagement, ensure our content remains top of mind with these longer consideration phases? So what are your thoughts about that, Ellen?
So yeah, the B2B does require a longer period. And that really means just consistent engagement. So one way to do this effectively is like a drip content strategy. So that means we deliver relevant content to your prospects at regular intervals over a predetermined length of time. And that just makes sure that you are top of mind in that consideration stage. This could also be like a mix of insightful articles, follow-up emails, trend reports, and demos as well. Additionally, leveraging retargeting ads can remind people who have visited or viewed your site, remind them that you exist and that your solutions can take them then to that consideration phase.
That's exactly right. So as we conclude our discussion today, I hope you're feeling inspired to dive into your content marketing plan and grow your relationship with your customers. And by understanding each stage and implementing some of the strategies that we discussed, you'll be well on your way to boosting your revenue and growing your business.
Yes, and we're very excited. As a thank you for spending your valuable time with us. And for those who are watching the replay later too, this counts for you. We would like to invite you for a free consultation with any of our account managers. It's not a competition to get an idea.
Maybe we should make it a competition.
I know. But yeah, you can get an idea of the effectiveness of your current content strategy and your B2B customer journey. So that URL listed here, or you can scan that QR code to just jump onto our website and fill that out to see if we can do that for you.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, and we really want to invite you to the next webinar that we have in our year-long series. It's going to be on Thursday, September 21st. We'll be talking about building a brand fanatic, how you move your customers to the advocacy stage, and more importantly, keep them there, keep them as those super fans. And we hope that you'll join us.
I hope so too. So thank you everybody once again for being part of our webinar. Remember, the customer journey is your roadmap to success. And if you have any questions or need assistance with your marketing efforts, please don't hesitate to reach out to anybody at the team at Keystone Click. We're here to help you succeed. So you can email myself or Whitney or Ellen at our email addresses that are listed here, or connect with anybody at the Keystone Click team on our media channels listed below. We've got our Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn handles. We'd love to hear from you. So on behalf of the whole team at Keystone Click, we hope you have a fantastic day and best of luck on your journey towards business growth. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, everyone.